Hey everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are having a fantastic weekend. Things in the garden are really growing at a phenomenal rate. As you can see behind me, some of my apple trees have already finished flowering, some are still flowering. The cherries are all done and all of the cherry blossom has kind of given up, but everything else is growing. I had to cut the lawn this week. It was growing at a phenomenal rate. Unfortunately, this weekend when this video goes out, we're having rain. So I wanted to get ahead of the rain and make sure that I did all of that before anything got particularly bad. But check this out. My potatoes are coming up. I have had to cover these potatoes up 2 times since the last chicken and garden update because, I said that I hoped that was the last frost. We had 2 more, except they weren't quite frosts. They were close, but not actually frosts. And so I suppose I wasted my time covering them up, but at least I did it, because if I hadn't have done it, we probably would have ended up with frozen potatoes, and that wouldn't have been good. The parsnips, check these guys out. These are gonna be amazing. This is the best looking parsnips I've had for a really long time. These guys are also growing at a phenomenal rate of knots, and the actual garden is doing really well as well. These are some of the hedges that we put in a couple of years ago, and they're growing slowly. But box tends to grow kind of slowly and then it kind of gets into a spurt. So hopefully that's really going to change things moving forwards. My irises are out. I'm not going to show you the irises because if I show you the irises, I'll show you my house number. And I honestly, I hope you're okay with me not sharing my house number with you here. But the majority of the gardening work that has happened this past week has been down in the main vegetable section. So I'm going to show you that now. The chickens are doing amazingly well. They are not out today, much to Charlie's frustration. I have decided to keep them in today, and I'm probably going to keep them in for a couple of weeks so I can plant the border at the front of the house without them destroying it. And as I discovered, they can now jump over the fence. They know how to. They regularly do it. They do it when they get bored. They're just a menace, basically. There is Ashley. She is doing amazingly well. Look at that lovely, healthy comb. She is just the best. Her pin feathers are almost in now. Almost, but not quite. So I have been busy with some just basic maintenance. So, for example, I after last week's show, I got in here and I've weeded my strawberries. There are still some weeds hiding right close to the strawberries, but I will tackle them when the camera is off. But for the most part, I have weeded my strawberries and these look so much better. Look at all these flowers that we've got coming on these. So some there, some there, some there. I honestly think that these are the best looking, healthiest strawberry plants I have ever had. They are phenomenal and I cannot wait. Meanwhile, over here in my onion and carrot patch, we do have some weeds coming up. It's kind of difficult at this time of the growing process to get in there and do a huge amount of weeding, because as you can see in this row right here, we have some carrots. You'll see they've got kind of the long leaves coming up there. Those are carrots, and they're kind of interspersed between other things that don't need to be there. But if I start getting a hoe in at this point, well, I'll actually take the carrots out too. So I kind of have to leave things as they are for now. But putting the carrots and the onions together, that was a stroke of genius. It's quite common, as I discovered, to put carrots and onions together. As my mum told me, the carrot fly get confused by the onions and the onion fly get confused by the carrots. So it means that they're great companion plants. You can plant them together and you don't have any issues. I also did cut back my raspberries because right here they were getting really tall and out of control. But look here, we do have some raspberry flowers coming at last. And that hopefully means we'll have a nice crop of raspberries this year. I do like a good handful of raspberries. You never get enough raspberries for a raspberry jam, but every year these raspberries kind of encroach on what used to be the strawberry patch. And you can see a couple of residual strawberries there looking really sorry for themselves. I need to get in here either this week or next and just weed out some of these plants and help out the strawberries survive a little bit. Over here though, things are doing incredibly well. We've got on this side, we've got some coriander or some cilantro, depending on which side of the Atlantic you are in. We've got one row of broad beans or fava beans here. We've then got another row of cilantro. I don't know why I put two lots of coriander cilantro in, but I did. In the middle here, we have some dill, which I love. I do like dill, and because I've got cucumbers, pickling cucumbers that I'm growing, that's going to be great because pickling cucumbers and dill go very nicely together. Over here we've got the other row of broad beans, and I'm really glad I split them up this year. I think that's going to work really well. I do need to put those stakes in very soon to help them grow up. And then next to them we've got our wasabina, and then over here we do have some beet, I think, finally coming through, which makes me super excited because I do like beet. I don't normally consume a lot of it, but it does make for some tasty salads in the autumn. So over here we've got our garlic. You can tell which one the elephant garlic is because it's the big one. So 1, 2, 3, those are my elephant garlic bulbs. And then all the other garlics are growing up. I'm going to have so much garlic this year. I don't know what's going to happen when I dig those up. But I really like garlic, and I hope I figure out a way of storing it better than I tried to last year. I tried curing it, and then some of the bulbs started to do weird things. So I've got to learn how to store garlic, basically. Over here, I haven't done any work over here, and I haven't done any work over here, but I'm starting to think that those are actually volunteer leeks that are coming up, and I'm going to just leave them for a little bit and see what happens. I've got some things to go in, all of the areas that have not been planted yet, so don't worry. But unlike last year, I just put things directly in. I've actually started things off in pots, so I'll show you those in a second. But over here, you can see I have weeded my herb garden. My lemon balm is phenomenal as always. My blueberries, I know I've got blueberries in my herb patch. C'est la vie. They are just sitting there doing blueberry things. My garlic chives are starting to make flowers, and it looks a little bit rough because I dropped something on them, but it will be fine. They will recover. We've got rosemary there, and then in the corner there, that is some oregano or oregano, depending on which side of the Atlantic you live. That was transplanted from that big hole that exists there, and I happily transplanted those because then they're in the herb garden. I'm also going to put some thyme right there. Some thyme is hiding in that one, and I will try and transplant the thyme up and put over there as well. And then all my herbs will be together. And on the corner there, you'll see that sage has really recovered really nicely from the winter temperatures. Also, those 2 rosemaries that I bought a couple of weeks ago, they are now officially in the garden and growing. Being able to cut the lawn at this time of year has been really nice. It's been really dry and wonderful. And if I just lift up the camera above the chicken coop, you'll see all the way to the back of the garden down the slope. The grass is really starting to make some progress. This bit obviously is dry and horrible because that's where the dogs tear around. But the actual back of the garden is really starting to look very nice. And there's a mole or a gopher. I mowed the lawn yesterday. That is fresh today. But all of this is that was mowed yesterday. And sometimes it's a bit of a pain to mow, but it seems to work very well. And all of those daisies, they've come up since I mowed. I finished mowing at 7:30, 8 o'clock last night on Tuesday. It's Wednesday when I'm recording this, so it shows you just how quickly they all grow. I do have some bad news in the greenhouse, but I also have some good news. So let's go in the greenhouse. We'll finish off and I'll show you everything that's been going on. It's lovely and warm in here. So I think my abutilon has died. This is my abutilon. It's a Chinese maple. It is not happy. I'm hoping that it will put some more leaves up. I'm just going to leave it. I think it got cold one night. They don't like the cold. Even though it wasn't below freezing, it still happened. But in here, you will notice we've got a bit of an abundance of propagators. And that is because we have planted so much. I came in here last Sunday, and yes, there are some mushrooms there. I need to identify what type of mushrooms they are and if I can eat them or not. I don't know at this time. But we have cucumbers in abundance. All of the cucumbers on the cucumber channel. Hopefully by the time you come back next week, I will have either planted them into the ground or I will have transplanted them. Same with these tomatoes. They are looking incredibly strong and wonderful. So I'm going to put that back on. And then in here, I'm going to try and I'm not going to show you in here because I'm trying to keep them nice and warm because the temperatures are going to be a bit colder with the rain and whatnot. So we have, in no particular order, I can't remember what's in what, we have 3 different types of sweet corn. So we've got the regular old sweet corn, we've got some popping corn, and then we've got some ornamental corn. You're normally supposed to grow corn in the ground, but I've never had success really growing in the ground. So I'm going to put them in these pots and grow them up before I put them in the ground. And I'm hoping that will help because we do get some cold nights up here. So I'm hoping that just starting them off in a propagator will help. My mum's done that for years and it seems to work for her. We've also got some pumpkins, some jack-o'-lantern pumpkins in one of those. Same thing. I'm planning on planting those outside of the raised beds, I think. I haven't decided for sure, but I think that's the way I'm going to go. I also have some courgettes or some zucchinis, whichever way you want to refer to them. They are in there. I've got some butternut squash that are also in there growing. I also have some tomatillos that have been started off. Some more tomatoes, heritage tomatoes this time. I've started those ones off a little bit later because I wanted to have some more variety. And I'm going to be giving away many of those cucumber and tomato plants, don't worry. And I'll probably be giving some of these guys away as well to local friends and family who want them. So, I haven't started off my peas yet. I haven't started off my beans. But other than that, everything is pretty much, certainly for the spring. And then I will put some things in for the winter, for the fall or the autumn, and then maybe into the winter as well. But let's finish by showing you the chickens. They've been happily going through the grass cuttings as a bit of a consolation prize for not being allowed outside today. But they are doing incredibly well. They are happy. I think I got 3 eggs earlier on today. So let's have a little look, see if we have any more. Let's have a look. Do we have any more? Oh, we have 2 eggs. So I think that's 5 eggs today. Can't complain. All of my hens that do lay have laid. So I only have, I have 7 hens. Oh, sorry, I have 6 hens and the rooster, but only 5 of them lay. So that's pretty good going. I cannot complain. So in this one, I've got 5 hens in this one that lay, plus Charlie. And then I've got Ashley on her own. But Ashley and Carolyn, they haven't laid for about 2 years now. I think they're in retirement. I'm totally okay with that. Anyway, tell me what's going on in your garden. Have you put any summer seeds in yet? Have you done your flower bed? I'm going to be doing that this week with some sunflowers and some other fun things for the bees. So tell me all about that. And I will see you this time next week.
Thanks for joining me today. And if you've got thoughts, make sure you leave them below in our Discord chat room, or you can reach out to us on Mastodon. Thanks to the amazing list of people scrolling by on your screen right now. They are some of the more than 1,500 people that help make this channel possible by funding it through Patreon and YouTube, covering our bills, paying our team, and making sure we can be 100% independent. If you'd like to join them and see your name listed here, just follow the links below. There are a range of different tiers you can sign up for, from as little as $1 a month, or if you pay yearly, $10.08 a year. A massive welcome to our newest supporters, Ralph Koenig, Mr. Eldritch, Dwayne Adiger, and Corey Singletray. To join our list and get your shout out, become a paid Patreon member for your week of fame. If you'd like to support us with a one-off donation, you'll also find links below to make Ko-fi and Bitcoin donations, and we even have an old-fashioned PO box you can reach us at. The address is listed below. And of course, if you're in need of some swag, you'll find our swag store link in the down below as well. This month, we are celebrating Wrangling EV FUD with a fantastic t-shirt design by our in-house artist and animator Erin. Get yours today by heading to our Redbubble store. We've got some great content coming up, so make sure you're subscribed on PeerTube or YouTube, and we'll see you soon. We make new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you want more, the mighty algorithm thinks you'll like this video, but we also think that this one is well worth a look. See you soon, and as always, keep evolving.